his heart. So you know how God can literally speak to you through anything and anyone. I got this amazing revelation today at basketball camp of all places. So my kids are at basketball camp and they have like a quote of the day. And today's quote was, "Obedience is better than sacrifice." And so he's telling the boys to say this and they're repeating it. And I'm like, oh my goodness. In the kingdom, obedience is better than sacrifice. And I thought of an example, like if you told your kids, hey, I need you to go clean your room, we have company coming over. And they said, and 30 minutes later you went to check on them and they said, well, Mom, we watered the flowers you'd already flowered and we took a walk so we got some exercise and I went and loved on the dogs. And so I did all these other things that you like us to do. And I said, but did you clean your room? And they're like, oh no, we haven't cleaned our room. Would you be okay with that? And my answer is no, I asked you to clean your room. I didn't ask you to do all these other things. Those are good things. I'm glad that you did those, but I asked you to clean your room. And so even though you sacrificed in these other areas, I told you to do this and you didn't do it. And so there would be a consequence, right? And so in God's kingdom is the same way. And I see this so many times. It's like, oh, we love God. We love God. Awesome. Do you read his word? No, I'm so busy. I don't have time for that. Oh, do you take care of the widows and orphans? No, but my kid's in sports and we've got school going on and we do this. Oh, do you pray for his people? Well, we go to church on Sundays. Well, I'm questioning that love then. And I know that can sound a little harsh, but I'm going to back it up with scripture. And so I wanted to start with 2 John 1, chapter 1, verse 6. And this is love, that we walk in obedience to his commands. Then I want to read John 14:15. If you love me, keep my commands. Obey. Love and obey are being tied together over and over. John 15:14. If you are my friends, you are my friends if you do what I command. Again, this is all wrapped up in obedience. Deuteronomy 11:1. Love the Lord your God and keep his commandments, decrees, laws, and requirements always. Obey. And so these are just, when I was starting to research, I literally just Googled like verses on obedience and like 72 came up. And that was just like in one little thing that I had looked at. So, obedience, if you've read it, is all throughout the Bible. Obedience. And so we need to make sure that we are not just doing good deeds or, we're just nice, we're good people. But that's not enough. God says to obey. And so if you are sacrificing in all these other areas, but God has asked you to do this, then I'm going to go as far as to say, hey, your love needs to be put in check, because God says if you love him, you'll keep his commands and do what he asks you to do. And that means the fruit of your life lining up with what he has commanded us. Or even simply like if he's asking you to do something, if he's told you to do something, like go pray for that person. And you're like, oh, I can't, I'm too scared. Or what if they think, he said it, obey every time. We have a little saying in our house with our kids. We expect that they obey us the first time, every time. So I don't want to tell them 2 or 3 or 4 times to do the same thing, and we tell them, we want you to obey us the first time, because one day you're going to leave our home and you're not going to be under our authority anymore. You're going to be under God's authority, and I want you to obey him the first time. So we teach our children, you obey us the first time, so you obey God the first time. And that's what when God speaks, I want to obey immediately the first time. And so that's just some thoughts today. I know that's kind of hard to hear, but it's so true. Your life needs to obey and be obedient to Christ, because obedience is greater than sacrifice. You guys have a good day. Love you all. Bye-bye.